Hello folks, this is Jeff Walker from the Junkyard Kid channel, and in just a little bit I'm going to be showing you a video from back in 2021 of us loading up my grandpa's old moving wrecker. It's a 1956 Ford F600, had a boom and a winch on the back. It wasn't his primary or big rig moving vehicle. That was an old, I believe it was an auto car from like I think it was actually World War II leftover unit, possibly. It was like what they called a 6x6, which means it was twin axles in the back and all-wheel drive. But the wrecker that I will be showing you was primarily what you would call his support vehicle. It had provisions where he had a lot of wood blocks in there for blocking and cribbing, chains, moving jacks, some of which were close to 100 pounds a piece. At some point I'll have to find one or two of them and just show you guys them. They're pretty neat. And it was also pretty impressive that he could take and grab one of them in each hand. They had a bit of a handle you could hold on to them and walk a lot further than anybody else would have been able to do around this area. He had several guys that were pretty good fellows, pretty good sized fellows, and they tried to keep up with him, and they just couldn't do it. He was probably about 6 feet tall and I think about 4 feet wide, just very broad shouldered. But anyways, there's a couple other little things I'm going to show you here just to kind of tie in things. So let's take a look here. We have this chunk of wood. It says Walker House Moving, and on each end here it shows 1919. That is supposed to have been when he started doing some moving. At that age, he'd only been about 15 in 1987. And by that time, he was, if there's any house moving or building moving that he was involved in, it was primarily in an advisory position, or he'd rent out his moving timbers and help out in that way. But pretty neat history there. And this is supposed to be a piece from one of his original moving timbers. Over here we have a sign. It's an old Eddie's Bread sign. Something that people from around this region would probably remember. Eddie's Bread is a company out of Montana. I did some looking. They're actually still in business, mainly into pastry type sweetbreads, I guess you call them. But they would actually come around this region and deliver bread. And they would supply these to the customers. And it was just, I suppose, primarily a sales pitch thing. But anyways, let's take a look at that thing up here. And it's just a pretty cool thing to see. It was a little bit sketchy when we did it, considering the truck never had brakes. But the guy came up to pick it up, and I thought, man, I wonder if I could get this fired up. Had an old 390 in it. And my dad put together, oh heck, probably back in the early 70s. So we put a battery in it, and lo and behold, it took off and ran actually pretty decent for not being started for at least 10 years, and we got it loaded up on the trailer safely. So why don't you sit back and enjoy it.
crank them down.